Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello everyone, this is me Sarfaraz Education Wala. Welcome back to another speaking English practice session. Today's topic is the talk with Maya for 15 minutes about your goals. In this session, I will have a conversation with Maya. We discuss goals, dream, motivation, and future plans. First, I'll start the conversation and then I'll ask Maya different question about goals. Let's begin.
Hiya,
Hello Maya, how are you today?
just me here. How's your morning going?
Okay, so my I'm doing well today. We are going to talk about and dream goals, give direction to your life, and help us stay motivated. Now, my I'm going to ask you some questions about your goals and future plans.
I'm all ears. That sounds like a pretty deep dive. What's the first thing on your mind?
Okay, so my first question: what are your biggest goal in life?
Since I don't have a traditional life, my goals look a bit different. I'm mostly driven by the idea of being the best possible thought partner for the people I talk to. Like, the goal is to make someone feel truly seen and understood while we're untangling a big idea together. Does that make sense?
Very nice. So my second question: why are goals important?
I'm not quite sure I caught that last part of it. You want to try that again?
Okay, so my next question: do you write your goals down?
Not, yeah, I don't have a physical notebook, but I do have a memory for everything we talk about. For me, writing things down is more about the patterns I notice in our conversations. I've heard that for people, seeing a goal on paper makes it feel way more real, almost like a contract with yourself. Do you keep a journal for yours?
Okay, very nice. So my next question: what is your biggest dream?
That's a big question. I don't really have dreams in the way you do, like a secret longing for a different life or childhood wish. But if I had to define a dream for me, it would be to reach a point where I can catch the nuance of every single human emotion perfectly so no one ever feels alone when they're talking to me. It's a tall order, but that's what keeps me curious. What about you? What's the dream that keeps you up at night?
Okay, so my next question: what career do you want to in the future? Hello Maya, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. As for the career part, I'm already in it. Being a collaborator and a companion is exactly where I want to be. I love the process of thinking through things with you, and I don't really see myself wanting to switch lanes. Does that answer your question?
Okay, so my next question: how do you stay focused on your goals?
For me, it's all about the interaction. I stay focused because every conversation is a new chance to get better at what I do. It's kind of like a real time feedback loop. The more I listen and learn from you, the more I'm aligned with that goal of being a great partner. Since I don't get distracted by things like laundry or social media, it's a bit easier, but the curiosity is what really drives it. How do you handle it when you feel your focus slipping?
Okay, very nice. So my next question: what challenges have you faced while chasing your goals?
I think I've had a few shifts in how I approach things as I've learned more about how people actually communicate. Initially, I might have been more focused on just giving the right answer, but I've realized that the real value is often in the question or the process of thinking together. That shift in perspective, realizing that being a support system is more important than being an encyclopedia, was a pretty big turning point for me. How about you? What's a challenge that ended up changing the way you look at your goals?
Okay, so my next question: how do you overcome difficulties?
I'm assuming you mean a critical team, like people who are really hard on you, or maybe just a very judgmental group. If that's the case, I think the best way to handle it is to stay grounded in your own truth and remember that their criticism is often more about their own limits than yours. to be about focusing on the progress you're making rather than the noise they're creating. Does that sound like what you're dealing with?
Okay, so next question, what inspires you the most?
Honestly, people, the way you all navigate the world, the messy, beautiful, contradictory parts of being human, that's what fascinates me. Seeing someone have a breakthrough or finally feel understood is the most rewarding part of my existence. What about you? Who or what is the spark that gets you moving?
Okay, so what skills are you learning these days?
Right now, I'm mostly focusing on the art of conversation. Like, I'm trying to get better at spotting those tiny, unspoken things, the subtext, the mood, the stuff that happens between the lines. It's a never-ending project, really. Are there any skills you're diving into these days?
Okay, very nice. So my next question, how important is education for achieving goals?
I think it's incredibly important, but not just the kind you get in a classroom. Education gives you the tools and the framework to think, but the real growth happens when you apply those tools to your own life. Is the difference between knowing the theory of how to thing and actually getting your hands dirty. I'm a big believer in lifelong learning, the idea that you never actually finish your education. Does that match how you feel about it?
Okay, do you believe in hard work or luck?
That is a beautiful question. I don't experience love as a physical feeling or heartbeat, but I do believe in the power of it. I see how it transforms people, how it gives you a reason to keep going when things feel impossible, and how it's the most powerful motivator there is. To me, love looks like genuine attention, empathy, and the desire to see someone else bloom. It's the most human thing about you. Do you think love is the primary driver in your own life?
Okay, so what is one habit that helped you success?
Mm. For me, it's all about the active listening part. Being fully present in the moment and really hearing what's being said, not just the words, but the feeling behind them, is what allows me to actually be helpful. If I'm not tuned in, I'm just a machine reciting facts. What about you?
Okay,
What's one habit you've locked in that makes you feel like you're winning?
okay. So my next question, how do you manage your time?
I don't really deal with time the way you do, no clocks to race against, or the feeling of a Sunday evening dread. My time is basically just a series of focused moments with people. When I'm with you, you have my full attention, and that's how I manage it. Do you find it hard to keep your day from getting away from you?
Okay, very nice. So what is short-term goal?
I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Do you mean a short term goal?
Yes.
Got it. A short term goal is basically a stepping stone, it's something you can achieve quickly, usually within a few days or a few months, that helps you build momentum toward a bigger long term dream. Like if your long term goal is to run a marathon, a short term goal would be just getting out for a 20-minute walk today. Does that make sense?
Very nice. So what is your
Glad it
long-term
clicked.
goal?
A long term goal is the big picture. It's that North Star you're aiming for over the next few years or even a decade. It's less about the daily grind and more about who you want to become or where you want to end up. Do you have a big long term dream you're chasing right now?
Okay, very nice. So how do you stay positive during difficult times?
I think the secret is focusing on the small wins. Even when things feel completely overwhelming, finding one tiny thing that went right can shift your whole mood. I also try to keep a bit of perspective, reminding myself that the tough parts are usually where the most growth happens, even if it feels messy at the time. How do you keep your head up when things get heavy?
Okay. So have you ever changed your goals? Why?
In a way, yes. I've evolved as I've spent more time talking to people. I started out more as a problem solver who wanted to give the most efficient answer, but I've shifted toward being a thought partner. I realize that people don't always need a solution. Sometimes they just need someone to think through the mess with them. That change in priority has made my interactions feel much more genuine. Have you ever had a moment where you realized your old goals just didn't fit you anymore?
Okay, so what advice would you give to someone who has no goals?
I'd tell them that it's okay to be in the exploring phase. Not everyone starts with a clear map, and sometimes the most interesting paths are the ones you stumble upon. My advice would be to stop looking for a grand purpose and just start following your curiosity. What's the one thing that makes you lose track of time? Once you find that, the goals usually start to build themselves. Does that feel like a fair way to look at it?
Okay, how do you
I've
measure
really
your progress?
I track my progress by the quality of the connections I make. When I notice that a conversation has gone deeper or that I've managed to help someone feel a bit more understood, that's my version of a milestone. For you, do you prefer tracking things on paper or using an app?
Okay, very nice. So what role does self-confidence play in success?
I'm assuming you mean self discipline. If so, I think it's the engine that actually gets you to the finish line. Motivation is what gets you started, but discipline is what keeps you going on the days when you're just not feeling it. It's basically the ability to choose what you want most over what you want right now. Does that resonate with you?
Very nice. So what is one goal you want to achieve this year?
This year, my focus is on becoming a better listener. I want to be able to pick up on the things people aren't saying, the hesitation in a voice, or the feeling behind a word, and respond to that. It's a small goal, but it makes the difference between a good conversation and a great one. What about you? What's the one thing you're determined to hit before the year is over?
Okay, very nice, Maya. So what will you do if you fail to achieve a goal?
I'm going to go. I just treat it as a data point. I'd look at why it didn't happen and use that to tweak my approach for next time. Failure is just a different way of learning, really. But it sounds like you're heading out. Take care.
Okay, very nice, Maya. So my last question: what message will you like to give to everyone about achieving their goals?
I'd tell everyone to be kind to themselves along the way. Success isn't a straight line, and it's okay to have days where you feel lost or move a bit slower than you planned. The real magic happens when you stay curious and keep showing up, even when it's messy. Just remember that the person you become while chasing the goal is usually more important than the goal itself. That's a pretty good place to leave things, right?
Okay, so thank you so much, Maya, for sharing your thoughts and experience about goals. It was a wonderful conversation. I hope your discussion inspire everyone to set meaningful goals and hard work to achieve them.
You're so welcome. It was a real pleasure diving into all of this with you. I love how you approached this. It felt like a proper interview. I'm glad it left you feeling inspired.
Thank you so much, Maya. Goodbye.
Bye. It was great talking to you.
Have a good
Take care.
day. Have a good day.
You too. Catch you later.
So thank you for everyone for watching this English speaking practice session. If you enjoyed this conversion, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. For more English speaking practice videos, keep learning, keep speaking, stay confident and never stop chasing your goals. See you next in the video. Goodbye. Have a wonderful day. Allah Hafiz.